Before I was a pastor, I was a real person, and I was in pharmaceutical sales, and that was drug addiction for me. Mental health wasn't really on my radar at all before that. When I got clean, something had changed in me. Something was wrong. I was clean, but I was still miserable. And a friend of mine recommended that I see a doctor and diagnosed me with depression. Within Reach had this gathering about mental health, and they talked about an initiative called Spiritual First Aid. And they said, hey, we're offering this. You can do it online. Here's codes. You do it for free. And me and a group of people from the church were there listening, and I knew immediately this is something that we need to look into. It fired me up, and it fired up the team that was with me that has a heart for this, and so much so that ultimately a sermon series evolved from it, which led up to something even bigger. I knew our church would respond. Okay, the church has a heart for this. We have for a long time. The series was very well attended, and people were very engaged in it. So I was feeling like, okay, God's doing something, and we're going to have a huge response. But God blew it out of the water. I mean, I was thinking, man, what if we had 50 people? What if we had 60 people come to this course? And God doubled that. I mean, we had 120 plus people that signed up for the course. It was absolutely incredible. It taught me something. People are hungry to help. They're hungry to learn. They're hungry to grow, and they truly want to make a difference. Most people just don't know how.
God did put spiritual first aid in my path at the right time. One of my employees at work had just a really tragic situation happen. She had reached out to me and said, hey, there's something going on with my stepson. He's 17 years old. And she said, it sounds like he's maybe having a mental health crisis, so I might need to leave. And then a couple hours later, she reached out to me and said that he had committed suicide. I was just able to kind of talk to her and use some of the skills I'd learned to talk to her about her next steps, and she was very overwhelmed about what to even do. And it just felt like I knew what to do, whereas in the past I wouldn't have.
What's really good about equipping lay people in the church with mental health techniques or basic counseling tools like active listening, even more basic than that, giving people the confidence that they can be present and competent in the middle of a difficult conversation. Equipping people with those basic skills is incredibly advantageous to the church.
Because of this training, I want to be able to lean in when I see somebody in need and not hesitate or shy away and hope somebody else will help them. So that's really my hope.
If it's that prevalent, if it's that out there, I think the church, we should be the answer to people's greatest needs.
It really is the mission of the church. If we are supposed to be a hospital for the broken, if we're supposed to be healing people that are hurting, there's no better way of doing that than by learning basic mental health skills to help people carry each other's burdens.
Spiritual first aid has been a gift in so many ways. Like any pastor out there listening to this right now, you already know the pressure on pastors and staff when it comes to helping people, loving people, caring for people, and we only have so much capacity. If it wasn't for Within Reach, we would not have had 120 people go through a course that equipped them and helped them to want to make a difference in the world.
At Within Reach, we have multiple initiatives going on right now as part of our State of the City project, and one of them is called the Mental Health Initiative. That's a team that I get to be a part of. And as a team, we have goals for 10 years, and one of those goals is to train up 1,000 more leaders to have more and better conversations around mental health. Another goal is to raise up 100 more Christian counselors and put them into the workplace here in the Omaha Metro area. And the last goal is to make sure that we have places for those counselors to work. We call those hubs. So we want to make sure we launch 20 more hubs in the metro area over the next 10 years so that nobody is further than a 15-minute drive from one of these places to get counseling. I think it's easy to think about this kind of an opportunity going through something like spiritual first aid and say, well, somebody else will do that. But if we all wait for somebody else to do that, then it's never going to happen. And so we're really proud that we found something that anybody can go through. If you're listening to this right now, you can go through this. But the more people that we have go through this, the more and better conversations we're going to have, the more we can care for the people that we're going to have. And as we've learned, we can't just wait around for someone else to have that conversation. It's up to us to have that conversation.
I would challenge anyone who's leading any church right now with Ed Stetzer's words, the dean of Talbot School of Theology. Dr. Stetzer said, "A church without broken people is a broken church." So if we look at ourselves in the mirror as church leaders, and if we're not recognizing and addressing the broken people in our church, are we actually serving the body of Christ? Are we doing our core function?